Hi, I'm Craig. I'm the writer and producer behind the movie Hunters Hunted. Basically, I created the whole world of the Chronicles of Ollundra that the film takes place in, and we're looking to create our first film set in that world. Purpose of the video today is kind of just give you an overview of the movie and what we're planning for it and what's going to happen in it. And then from there, obviously, we're just going to produce some more videos and just kind of expand on the world and just what we're looking to achieve with the project. So, the Hunters Hunted movie is actually going to work as the first part of a much larger story. It's very, very grounded. It's very amongst just the normal people that kind of populate the world to start with. Though there are some supernatural and magical effects and influences in the film, it is a very much just a very standard story where it's based within the people and not too much within the gods and higher powers and entities. There obviously there's a presence felt by them, but they're not too involved in this particular story. So in a nutshell, the story of Hunters Hunted all began when I was supporting a community to do with another film, which is called Whiteblade. And I was just chatting with the community. It was the cast and crew, and they'd just finished their the principal photography, putting together some of the concept work. And someone just, offhand mentioned that they wanted another opportunity to use their axe. They wanted to get their axe. And I just thought, well, I've had this idea about an assassin hunting some hunters down in the woods. And this this really captured people's imaginations. And they were, well, why would we do that? So I kind of put a little bit of thought into it and I wrote a synopsis, posted it for them to read, and people really began to like the idea of it at this point. I was busy working on something else at the time, so it kind of, went on the back burner. But the interest was always there, and people were asking me about it, and eventually I thought, let's put a little bit more effort and energy into this, and just see if the following, the people are still interested. So I started to develop a short story, and we got, I think it was a 15-page script, just a short 15-page little movie set around the scene, and people began to come on board, and people started to show a bigger interest in being involved with the film, to the point where they really liked the characters and they really liked the concepts and the whole idea that we've got the hunters that are hunting somebody down, but there's another element that's actually hunting them, to the point where we're going to have this whole feel like we had in the Predator movie, where you've got these really skilled people that are in the forest. They're killers and they're good at what they do, but there's someone killing them, and we get to the point where we have this final confrontation between them, and this ultimately led to us it gaining more momentum. More people were getting interested, and we thought, let's go and see if we can make this into something a bit more substantial. So I developed a feature-length script where now we've got several main subplots. We have a main plot which remains unchanged from the original story, but we also have these little inklings and Easter eggs that are kind of littered through the film that open up the future. The film introduces Gamrick. Now, Gamrick is an old ally of Callus and features heavily in his history. Gamrick has his own band of sellswords who basically do mercenary work. In a nutshell, they're the fantasy version of the A-Team. They get called on to help the good folk. He's an ex-knight who was a member of the King's Guard, and he has a debt he owes Callus. And in the story of Hunters Hunted, Kellis collects this debt. And subsequently, we get introduced to Gamrick's band, and the follow-up story we have planned, which is A Sailsor's Tale, will tell you what happens after this. After Kellis and Gamrick's part company, what happens then? So, in addition to that, we have we wanted to have stories such as redemption. We've got elements such as family and the importance of family. We've got. We wanted to really touch on the cost. What would people pay for power? That's kind of, we're going to touch on that slightly, and also the cost of loyalty, and just shows you just when you have two very close friends such as Gamrick and Kellis, just when the worst of things happens, sometimes people do surprise you, and they are the best friends that you have, the ones that when you are literally staring down the barrel of what would be your execution, these are the friends that are able to step out or step up and basically help you in the worst of times. And that's where the character of Kellis really began to change from what he was to what he is now. And that's kind of going to be a centrepiece of the story. Kind of elaborates a little bit about the history of Kellis and how the Dark Elf characters of Nanala and Nariska link into Kellis's and Gamrick's backstory as well. So got lots of exciting things to explain and show. We're looking forward to showing you the Kellis's fighting ability. It's going to have a very unique fighting style. We're going to have people fighting from all over the world, because both the mercenary bands, the Gamrick's band and Yorick's band, are made up of people from all over the world. So we're going to have the big Afrikaner stealth fighter who's going to fight with a very Zuluisk form. There's going to be Asian people fighting. There's going to be the members of Gamrick's band all fight differently. One of which is going to fight like a Spartan, though she's probably going to, with being the female character, probably going to lean more to being an Amazonian. We're looking forward to the character of Farwin. He fights with a shield and a spear. Then we've got the Berserker character of Avangreneth, who is a female ranger who fights with a bastard sword and has some serious anger management issues, which we're going to have a lot of fun with. It does lead to a lot of the light-hearted elements of the story between the camaraderie, when they'll make fun of her because she is quite strikingly beautiful, but doesn't like people commenting on it. She just wants to be one of the men. It's how she's been raised. She's from the woodland community, and when people start commenting on it, she's very quick to shut those comments down, to the point where one of her comrades, Heavestone, it's kind of like a central thing between the banter between the two, because she's quite quick to tell that she'll look after him and that he can't look after himself. And that applies to Kellis and how he interacts with other people. The hunters themselves, they are very they have all their own characters. They're not just faceless men that are there just to get killed. They banter between each other as well. We have a deaf character that we're really looking forward to experimenting with and giving her own voice, so to speak, showing that even in a fantasy world where there is no hearing aids and there's no technology, that someone without the aid of magic can become invaluable just because they're able to use their other unique skills. They can sign and they can lip read. If you can, that basically allows this character to use their that eyesight and distance of vision to communicate without sound, which when you're sneaking up on people and when you're trying to, in a busy inn or a busy environment, you can see what someone's saying without listening close. That makes you a perfect spy. And these are skills that basically have made the character of Sharina more viable than in most of the other men in the mercenary band. And it's something that ultimately comes to light when they start the hunt to find Kellis, which we're going to have a lot of fun showing and highlighting. So I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an overview of what to expect in the movie. We've got some exciting things planned. We will be looking at having a prosthetic monster involved in it. There was some early concept art where we see Kellis fighting against a hulking monster. That is going to happen, though we're probably going to scale down the size of it. Though we're looking at it probably giving it the impression it's 8 foot tall. Though Kellis and Eowyn will get to cross swords with this creature. That will be prosthetic. It will be made by one of our prosthetic designers who has come from the visual effects school of Stan Winston. So we're looking forward to seeing what he can put together. We've got obviously with the elves, we've got some elves involved. So they're mainly a matriarchy of all female dark elf witches. So we've got a huge fight sequence planned with all of these witches fighting against Gamrick and Kellis and his friends. We've got the visual effects of Kellis using his abilities as he teleports around and disappears into shadow and cloaks himself. So looking forward to showing you what those things look like. So lots of things to come, lots of things to talk about, but I just wanted to just a bit of video, just kind of discussing the world of Ollundra and what to expect. And as always, if you want to get involved, or if you know some way that you could help, or if you just want to know a little bit more about the world, then let us know, because we will be releasing a series of videos and bios about the characters which you'll be able to follow. As always, if you like what you're seeing here, please subscribe, drop us a like, and follow us on our YouTube and Facebook channels. We're on Twitter. We'll have some special images that will only be appearing on Instagram, and we will maybe be looking at some other options later. And in a month's time, we'll be looking to launch the Kickstarter for the short proof of concept film for Hunters Hunted, which people will have the opportunity to be involved in. So if you like the idea of you being an extra and coming on, putting on some armour, having a sword, being shown how to fight in a sequence, and maybe even crossing swords with Kellis, then it's worthwhile you popping over and having a look at that. We'll be putting links on the Facebook page and the other channels near the time. We'll have a launch video. But with that being said, I'm going to leave it there for now. But thanks for watching, and we'll be in touch. Bye for now.